Hey, this is the World Advice Channel too. What I want to talk about today is the Trump and Zelensky clash that happened last week, Friday. And not just talk about the Trump and Zelensky clash, I want to talk about what it proves about who Donald Trump is, as a person, okay? So for this video, I will discuss this video in as unbiased of a way as possible, as well as give a straightforward answer as to who is in the right as much as is logically possible. So now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to this topic of this argument between Trump and Zelensky, who is in the right? Well, the simple answer to that question is Zelensky, okay? Because the first thing I want to mention for this particular topic is that Zelensky you know, is not ungrateful, okay? Because Trump, when you watch the video of the clash, when Zelensky, Trump, and his vice president for Trump, JD Vance, were talking, Trump called Zelensky ungrateful, okay? But the truth of the matter is, how could Zelensky be ungrateful when this conflict in the first place, with him and Russia was not something that he started? Because the truth of the matter is, this whole conflict in the first place was not started by Zelensky or something like that. It was started by Putin when he decided to invade Russia. So how can you call someone ungrateful for something like a war where you need a lot of money, a lot of resources, and all that type of stuff, especially for something that he didn't start, you know, when he just needs money and resources as well, of course, for him to be able to fight this war for something, like I said before, he didn't start. So how the hell can he be ungrateful? Okay, and it just shows you who Trump is as a person. Okay, he's just someone who is not only rude, he doesn't think um in a very sane and logical way. He's just a rude ass person. Okay, that's the truth about Trump, and this situation proves that about Trump for him even saying he's ungrateful for something that he clearly, Zelensky, of course, didn't start. Okay, so it just shows you who he is. And the second thing I also want to mention related to that is a whole ceasefire situation. Or I should say ceasefire that he brought up, the suggestion of creating a ceasefire. The simple answer to that question is that a ceasefire is absolutely one of the worst things you could do. Because the truth of the matter is, okay, anyone who knows even a little bit about world history, politics, and even just common sense, when bad people do bad things like that, you never give them what they want because it just shows to them that you're weak and they can take more from you. It's just like kidnappers or terrorists or something, particularly kidnappers. They always tell you never pay the ransom, okay? Because the thing is, once you pay that ransom, for them, if they kidnap someone, okay, it gives them that idea that they can do it again and again and again and again and again. That's why when you have kidnappers in places like Mexico and all these different parts of the world, they actually might say that, that they will pay for it, but they actually are just simply paving the way for special forces operators to go in and take those people out. Okay? Because the truth of the matter is, if they are able to do that, then it gives them impression that they can do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Okay? For that matter. Okay? That's how people who do things like that think. Okay? And when it comes to someone like Trump, it is, or I should say, Putin, on a global scale, it's no different. Okay? The moment he can sense a sense of weakness, then it proves that he can continue to do the same thing that he does all the time, which is bully other nations, which he's been doing for quite some time, like Georgia and, and even parts of Russia, like Chechnya, which actually they're not truly Russians, and even other nations like Finland and Sweden and all those places he's been trying to bully, okay? If he's been doing this for the longest time, if you give him a ceasefire, which of course for the ceasefire take off parts of the land of Ukraine, which is what Putin wants, okay, then what makes you think for all the things he's been doing for the longest time, he's going to stop doing that overnight because, you know, he got a ceasefire, which just gave him what he wanted. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So the simple truth of the matter is, in short, this is a terrible idea. And the fact that Trump would even support something like this shows that he's not as politically savvy as you'd have you believe that he is. Okay? This would not start World War III. Besides, Russia has been taking massive losses and has shown that they can't even fight anywhere near as good as they made themselves out to be. Okay, not to mention Putin has been threatening to use nuclear weapons and he hasn't even done it once. He's a bluffer. He's not going to do any of this type of crap. He's been exaggerating for the longest time. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. He never does it. So what exactly are you talking about? And that's the truth of the matter, to be quite honest with you, okay? Trump, or to say Putin, for that matter, he's not going to do anything, more than what he's already doing. His army is getting decimated all the time, or at least in terms of how much more powerful Russia would be compared to what you would claim Ukraine would be. He's getting massively decimated in terms of what's considered for the longest time the poorest country and nation, or the poorest nation in Europe, would be able to obviously put up against a nation that, like Russia, that is considered one of the world's biggest superpowers even to this day. So the simple answer to that question is, in simple, straightforward answer, Putin can't do any of the shit that he's saying. So this whole idea that he's going to start World War III is false. So in short, the truth of the matter is, Putin is a disaster. Okay, this whole war is a disaster on Russia's front. Okay, and continuing to support Zelensky will make it more likely that Putin could potentially give up, or probably will give up, for that matter, or at some point. Okay, the truth of the matter is, I don't think anything Trump says, for that matter, is correct, and specifically when it comes to the ceasefire, I don't think he's correct here either. Okay, the truth of the matter is, Zelensky has every right to fight for his land, and saying a ceasefire is a terrible idea. And it just shows you, like I was saying before, how Trump doesn't even know what he's doing. He was a business person. How the hell is he going to know how to manage something like politics? And that's the truth of the matter. So anyway, this is my video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. Just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumb this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say. And simply put, I'm out. So bye.